Well, I'm having a different approach on how to fix this. What happened before is this bearing right here, it overheated, not the specific one. I changed it. This case right here, it's different too, because the spot where this bearing would sit right here, it ate through this bearing and then ate the case up on the last transmission. So what I'm doing now with every bushing, I'm grinding a groove in the side right there. You can see it all the way back to the back wall, and then drilling a hole in the bushing all the way through. So when it sits in here, it will have direct access to oil all the way through to that back side too. There's a little gap so oil can get back there and lubricate this bushing really, really well. And that should prevent it from overheating and melting the shaft to the bushing like it did last time. And I'm doing the same thing with these, just a groove, and make sure if you do it, that groove goes down the side so oil can come up behind the lip on this, so it can come up in the bearing. And I still got to drill a hole in this bearing. I've already drilled the hole for this one right here, and I'm gonna do that for all these bushings, and that should prevent any overheating. I'm gonna make that hole bigger for the oil and possibly make a groove down this just in a certain area to make more oil go down that way. And I don't know, maybe this right here, groove it out just a little bit to let more oil get through. Just try to get oil more circulating and circulating better, and hopefully it won't overheat the bushings and burn it up again. And this case right here is a whole lot better. Like the casting for this, the bearings are a whole lot tighter. These aren't worn down, because the other one, these are worn down. These are folding in, these little lips to hold the seals in. And it's just, case is just a lot better shape. So I'm glad I'm changing it. So it should work a lot better, and I ain't gonna have no grease in it this time. It's gonna be spotless, no grease, just pure oil, and it should be the best that I can do it. And if it breaks after this, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I got the transmission put back in the race mower. I put a vent tube on the top of it so it'll breathe, because if it gets hot and pressurizes, it's going to blow all the oil out of the seal right here, and the axle seals and the input seals. And all I've done with this is this piece came off a old lawnmower carburetor. That's some hose I had laying around. Down there's a fuel filter, and that'll keep any debris or anything getting sucked back inside the tube whenever it cools back down. It makes a vacuum. Well, whenever it gets hot, I'm gonna figure out how to put this fan on it, and whenever I run the mower, this thing will be continuously running. I'll probably have a different switch up on the dash to turn it on, so you know, it'd be easier to do it that way, a separate switch, than use a regular key switch. Well, I'm gonna have to cut this housing down quite a bit and fit it in the seat, and I hope I don't have to, but I may have to trim these fan blades a little bit down. And I know that's gonna make the fan a lot less efficient, but I mean, I ain't got nothing better. And this is still, you know, it's a big fan. It's gonna move a lot of air, so it should still, you know, cool the transmission down really, really well. And with the oil in it, it's a whole lot quieter. It's a lot better this way. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this fan on it, and I'll show y'all what it looks like when I get done with it. I'm just gonna mount this fan directly to the seat mounts. This is the bottom side. This is the bracket with everything that holds the seat on it and everything. And what I'm gonna do is I took the fan out of the original housing, and I had to cut the blades off of this to make it fit in, you know, in this real well, not hit. Now this piece is gonna be flush with that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of this thin scrap, and it ain't really gonna be nice because this thing's just a fan mount. It'll work just as good. I'm gonna make 3 pieces when it branches off from each one of these pieces over. And then this one is a bit higher. The fan motor is higher than this, so it's going to come out and then drop down and be welded. So it'll mount good, and it'll cool the transmission really good. Like this thing, it moves a ton of air, so there's no way that thing's going to overheat unless something real wrong happens to it. But it should work great. I got the brackets made and welded on there, and it turned out really, really good. The welds turned out, you know, pretty good. It'll hold. Then the fan and everything, it's faced the blades up under the seat, because this is the original way that the motor would spin and blow air out back this way. That's going to be towards the transmission. If you can't mount it that way and have to flip it around the other way, it'll still blow air, but it won't be as efficient. It'll consume about the same amount of power, but it won't blow as much air. I done it this way because it just, you know, more air the better. It never hurts to cool it down better. Now all I gotta do is put it on there and then wire this up to a switch and test it out. Well, I got the seat put on and the fan worked out really good. It's a little bit visible from the top view, but it ain't gonna be anybody's way or anything. You ain't gonna hit it none. And it's got, you know, just enough room between the transmission and this, and it's not gonna hit the brake or anything. It's tucked up and under this, so it's gonna be really good and efficient at cooling this thing down. Now I just got to run this cable up and under this plate up to the dash, and if I have room, I probably will just hook it to a key switch, because you got, you know, off. Let's see, this will be just normal run, and then you got headlights, and then one more click is start. So if I can get the prongs all the way forward for that one, I'll just hook it straight to the fan and use it that way. It should be good enough to run it. Well, I got everything back together, and I got the fan wired up, and I just put this little switch right here beside the main key switch, and you flip it up. It'll turn that fan on, and man, it blows a ton of air. Like, you can't really tell it that much, but it kicks up a little bit of dust and everything up and under it. Not much at all, but you can tell. It's definitely putting out the air, so it shouldn't overheat this time, the transmission. It should keep nice and cool. But what I'm probably gonna do is tomorrow, I'm gonna test it if it ain't raining. I'll ride it some without the fan on, let the transmission warm up, and then I'm gonna ride it with the fan on and see if it cools back down, or if it just continues increasing temperature. It'd be nice if it would just get a certain temperature and maintain a certain temperature, because the fluid, once warm, it'll thin up and run better, and it'll be less friction and everything. You'll get more power to the wheels. But I'll try to test it tomorrow, and I'll tell y'all how it does.